Hey guys, welcome back. The great Warren Buffett just made an AI play that no one expected. Let's get into it. Now, you would think that Warren Buffett really wouldn't invest in a tech company these days. He's just never really been all about it. There's only one main company he's invested in as far as tech goes, and that's Apple. And that was years ago, and it's done really well for him. He's still got a pretty decent stake in Apple. He's recently sold a few shares here and there, but he still has a stake in the company. Now, he likes to invest in old school kind of properties or investments, assets, like things like Coca-Cola. He recently invested in United Healthcare, and it's primarily he likes to invest in cash flow producing companies, companies that have a good size dividend and have healthy cash flows, a healthy business model. Now, I think Google is right up there with Apple. I think they have probably the healthiest business model of all time right now. They're the second biggest profit maker in the world next to Saudi Aramco, which is an oil company, which Warren Buffett likes to invest in as well. Oil companies, he's done that in the past because, again, it's a great cash flow company. And Google has I think, $70 billion in stock buybacks. It also has a dividend, so that's right up Warren Buffett's alley. But I bet that they had some conversations amongst themselves in Berkshire Hathaway before taking this position. They probably talked about this for months, if not years. And I think there's more to it than just the cash flow. I think they understand AI to an extent, okay? These people that are at Berkshire Hathaway, they're not stupid, okay? They're the smartest people in the world probably that he's got working for him. And they took a look at Google and they saw the stack that Google has, the tech stack they have. They've got the history of the search. They've got probably the best algorithms when it comes to search, okay? They've got the enterprise platform in the Google Cloud Suite. You know, you can have an enterprise run on Google. In all the schools, most of them in the country run on the Google platform as well. So they've got that going for them. They've got this platform going for them, YouTube. You know, YouTube's a good, diverse platform. There's a lot of creators creating good content. A lot of advertisers like YouTube because it's got decent, wholesome content. It's not all rage bait for the most part. It does have a lot of rage bait. I'm not going to say it doesn't. So it's got that going for them. It's a good cash cow. And here's the thing, is that Google owns this AI tech stack from the ground up. They've built their own models. Okay, they've got this Gemini model, which is comparable to OpenAI's ChatGPT. So I think that went into the investment thesis for Berkshire Hathaway. And I bet you that they debated between Microsoft and Google when they were considering this investment. Obviously, Microsoft's a good cash cow. They've been buying back shares for years and years and years. I think they have a decent dividend as well. But they don't own the full stack like Google does. They only own 50% of OpenAI. And OpenAI is a big risk out there. They're making a ton of promises to NVIDIA, AMD, Broadcom. I think they're involved in Oracle in some way as well. This whole $500 billion Stargate deal that's going on, this kind of circular flow of money. And I've talked about this in a previous video. Google is not exposed to that. They're not involved in this OpenAI wheel and deal with NVIDIA, AMD, and Oracle and all this stuff. They're isolated. They've got their own tech stack. They have the data centers. They have the knowledge to build those data centers. I think Google is a good position for Berkshire Hathaway. It's conservative, which is the kind of investments they make. They're not into risk-taking. I know that a lot of people have been talking for years that maybe Warren Buffett would invest in Tesla, but he just hasn't done so. He's usually late to the game when it comes to emerging, highly risky technologies. And he's late to the game with Google. I mean, Google's trading at all-time highs. He's kind of buying it at all-time highs. Can Google go higher? I think for sure. I think with their AI stack, coupled with the enterprise value they have, coupled with YouTube, I think that they're going to be a good growth engine for the next 5 to 10 years with this AI space. I've been to a few conferences with this agent space. Now they're calling it Gemini Enterprise. I'm telling you, man, I'm floored by what I'm seeing. I mean, they're integrating all this enterprise attributes, all this security, and they're keeping it open with all the other players. Like you can integrate the Microsoft tools in the Google Gemini Enterprise space, which I think is very powerful. So they're keeping it open. They also, I think they build their own chips, these tensor chips. I forget what they're exactly called. So they build chips as well. They own a chip fab in a sense. I don't know if they make the actual chips, but they own like this technology similar to NVIDIA. NVIDIA outsources all their chips to TSMC. I bet you Google does the same thing. And I own Google for, I don't know, a couple of years, and I made great money on it. So I bet you Berkshire Hathaway, usually when they make a big play, a big investment, they're right. You know, they're usually never wrong. And so, you know, if you're invested in Google, man, you know, stay invested. I would not sell out of that. I wish I still had some Google, and maybe I'll still even consider buying some Google shares myself. I sold my Google out when I bought Tesla, which has definitely panned out in my favor. I 20x'd that investment since I sold Google, but I would consider getting back in from an individual stock perspective. I do hold some, I think some mutual funds and ETFs. I think my retirement has some Google in it. Obviously, a lot of people own Google by owning the SPY or the QQQs or anything in your retirement portfolio. You probably own some Google as well. So feel good about that. If you're invested, you probably own some shares somewhere in your portfolio. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I think that even though today Google did spike from the purchase that Warren Buffett had, the market from an AI perspective still sold off today, which I thought was kind of interesting. The fact that Warren Buffett is buying into Google, in which Google, I think in this sense, is in a risky position when it comes to search, but I think they took into account the AI factor. I really do. And I think this is a bullish marker for AI. I think that it's a bullish play. It's a level of confidence that the GOAT, the greatest of all time investors, is bullish on AI. I think he really is, or his team is. I mean, he's out of the picture now as the CEO or director of Berkshire Hathaway. Maybe he's still advising them, probably here and there. But this was probably his last big investment as far as like deciding factor for Berkshire Hathaway. And I think it's great. I think it's a good play. Of course, I wish he would have invested in Tesla. I think they will. I think Berkshire will when the AI physical space comes to a reality. It still isn't a reality. It's still kind of vaporware. That's the way a lot of people see it. But it will become a reality, I think. And not to mention even Waymo. You know, I forgot to mention that Google is invested in the autonomous driving space in Waymo. So maybe that was a part of their investment thesis, and they're not into risky Elon Musk. So there you go, guys. You know, it's more of a conservative play. It's more established than where Tesla is. I'll admit to that. So interesting times we live in, and obviously, you know, if you're invested in Google, good for you. So anyways, let me know in the comments below if you guys are thinking about investing in Google. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a professional. And yeah, those are just my thoughts on the Warren Buffett investing in Google. And if you guys could, like and subscribe to the channel, take a look at my previous video, and everyone have a good day. Later.